Oh, here we are at the Parts View workbench doing our rigs and techniques with Bobby Lane. He's a Parts View's pro staff as well.
Yep.
You know, matches up with our front up there, and a Major League Fishing pro, which, you know, got to be proud of that. You know, it's not something that everybody gets to do, is fishing pro for bass. So I really appreciate you coming out here. So we're actually talking about fishing docks.
We are.
So how do you go about it? Let's say you get on a lake, you've never fished this lake before. Docks are always a good place to start. How do you go about picking those docks and trying to choose which one to start with?
Absolutely, definitely. The docks in Texas are actually some of the easier docks because they're a lot bigger. And what I like to do is fire up my electronics. And this time of the year, you know, we're transitioning into the fall a little bit. I like to find the ones with the steepest contour line on them.
Okay.
And, you know, that's easy to say. But sometimes the docks in Texas are so long and big, you don't know if it's coming out to 50 foot or actually coming out to about 10 foot. So you got to do a little idling around and looking, but I like to find the ones because we start to deal with early cold fronts. You know how it goes. Water temp's going to drop and come up. Those fish like to shift off easy into the deeper water, but then they'll move right back up when it gets hot again. So I like to fire up that electronics and really look for that sharpest contour line and approach it that way first.
So are you talking about where maybe where a boat would sit, or just the you know, because I like to fish under boats a lot. I know a lot of guys who own boats don't like us to fish under them. But are you talking about that contour of the like maybe where a boat would be in and out?
Maybe where the middle of the dock is in 2 foot of water and the end of the dock sits out in 15 foot of water.
I got you.
Where there's a sharper transition as opposed to a dock that's in 2 foot of water and then the end of it's in 2.5 foot of water, okay? Where you're more like you have that dock on a flat. I like a dock now that has a nice transition out to that deeper water.
All right. Does weather play a factor into where you're going to start, or like the wind and the currents and stuff?
Well, we always know it's going to be windy in Texas for sure. So yeah. I actually like the wind can be your friend this time of the year, especially in this heat. What I like to approach them with is a bigger bait, like a swim bait style for sure.
Sure.
I love the Berkeley coal shad, man. This thing is a killer. I brought a few different colors here, but it's so hard to throw something else in the wind, right? And these Berkeley coal shads have an awesome clip built right in them underneath the body, and you can actually hear the hook when you take the hook out. If it's dangling like this, you know it's going to catch everything. When you put this Berkeley coal shad back in, you can hear that clip, and that hook lays like that, man. You can skip it way up underneath those docks. Them waves will be beating in on it. And the docks in Texas, a lot of them sit higher, so it's easier to get a bait under. And those big bass like big baits out there, and this Berkeley coal shad's definitely one of my favorites in the wind.
You also got some frogs up here. You know, that's probably my favorite thing to fish anytime, even around docks or not. But how do you like to go about fishing the docks with the frog?
Yeah, man. I mean, frogs are huge for me. I mean, born and raised down here in Florida, but spent a lot of my fishing career in Texas. I really have, and caught a lot of great big bass in Texas, and a lot of them have been on a frog, whether it's a popping frog or it's a walking frog. This is the Berkeley Swamp Lord. We have it in both sizes here, the popping and the walking frog. Comes with Fusion 19 hooks on it, which are really cool, man. They're super sharp. Like, it seems like if they bite it, you're going to catch them. But I like to maybe go away from the wind on this one, okay? I don't like throwing a frog when it's really, really windy out. I like to more approach a dock that's calmer. It has like maybe a little bit of grass around the edges or something. Like, where is a frog going to live, right? It's going to live near that grass, or it's going to live on a bank that maybe hasn't been mowed in a little while, where he can jump in that water. And when he jumps in the water, you know what happens. Them big bass come up and eat that frog. So I like the popping frog kind of more to imitate the bluegill. If you see a feeder on a dock, for sure, you know, we see a lot of that. You see feeders on docks, you know that dock's loaded with bluegills, right?
Yeah.
So we have a frog that looks just like a bluegill right here. This is one of our perch colored frogs. You can see the yellow, it looks like a bluegill. And I want to pop this thing on 50-pound braid, just a regular Veritas STX, just like this, man, and pop that thing coming under that dock. It's a slower presentation, but that popping noise is kind of like that bluegill coming up and getting that bait that owner's been throwing out.
Okay.
And then on the walking frog, of course, if there's grass or something matted, I like to crawl this walking frog across this. This is such a killer technique, man. Frogging, I got the chills just talking about this because I want to get out and catch one on a frog. But yes, man, I'm huge into frogs, and those are two of my absolute favorite ways to catch fish on docks.
Next, you've also got some stick baits out here. How are you fishing those? Are the little finesse and stick baits? Are you doing wacky rigs? Or?
I do. I got the Berkeley Power Bait Max Scent General here. Two of my favorite colors, like Matt Reed was saying earlier, green pumpkin's a killer. Texas, anywhere you go, even in Florida, green pumpkin's a killer. And then I brought ones that's a little special color. I actually love this one myself. This is black and blue with blue tip, and this imitates the perfect bluegill. Green pumpkin does an amazing job, but what I like to do with this, of course you can Texas rig this bait, no problem at all, but wacky rig, keep this thing simple. You're just gonna put a size 1 hook right in the middle of this. So when that thing sinks down, those fish can't resist. When you get those slick, calm conditions and those fish are not so active, you really want to key in on them. This wacky worm's a killer.
This is my favorite one. I like this KO Assassin, and I put a little tiny circle hook with a weight on it in the middle of it so I can throw it a little further. And that thing just boing, 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 boing. It's a beautiful thing.
The bass can't resist it, can they?
As soon as
when nothing's working,
that wacky
rig always works. That's guaranteed.
That was awesome, man. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
It went too fast. We could have talked a lot longer.
We sure could have, and I love talking fishing.
Beautiful.
And it shows.
Yeah, it does. You know, Bree, he talked about black and blue. When you go fishing with Bobby Lane, that's how you come home. You're all black and blue from all the rods and all the fish you catch.
That's a good thing.
I've
Bobby's
experienced it
staying
myself.
in his lane,
Big fish,
man.
Bobby.
He's in his lane.